So hello everyone, and a very good afternoon to all of you, and welcome to class. Welcome to Career Launcher. So in today's class, we are going to discuss about the much demanded class of Caste Census and Delimitation Commission. So I have seen people actually were requesting this in the comment section. Sir, please schedule a class regarding Caste Census and Delimitation. So I thought, okay, let's have a class for that. Okay. Am I audible, visible? Is everything fine? Yes. Fine. So let us begin with the first question. That comes to our mind is what is the census? What is the meaning of census? क्या होता है ये? हिंदी में शायद जनगणना कहते हैं ना. So what is this? Can anyone define for me? First, we will understand census. Then we'll understand the history of census, and then we'll talk about caste census and then delimitation. Right? It's a demographic survey. Okay. So somebody is writing it is a demographic survey. Demographic survey. Demography means related with population. Anna, survey of population. Very good, Anvita. Someone is writing survey of population. So both are same thing. Demography is related with population. Which includes actually the idea behind how many, what is the population of the country, the literacy rate, the gender ratio, then how people of which religion are how much, people of which caste are how much, which state is the most populous state, which state is the least populous state. So these are the ideas behind this. So what is the child fertility rate is also sometimes there. Like I would say total fertility rate. So these are actually the ideas. Population count is one idea, but actually things related with population count, है ना? Literacy वगैरह सब आ जाती है उसमें, gender ratio, है ना? So that is what the idea behind census. And for better policy making, yes, of course, census is important because then only we will make policies. For example, I think in 2011 census it was found that the Parsis population got decreased. I'm just giving example. So that is why the scheme was launched, Geo Parsi scheme, so that their population should be controlled. Similarly, we have seen as compared to 2001, in 2011 census, the child sex ratio became even worse. And that is why which scheme was launched? Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. Because we have to protect. Beti Bachao means we have to ensure that the girls should be protected from female foeticide. बेटी पढ़ाओ, यानी बच्चियों को ऐसा नहीं कि होता ना कि फोर्टिसाइड मतलब पेट में ही, जब माँ के पेट में ही बच्चा रहता है, बच्ची रहती है, अल्ट्रासाउंड करा के चेक करते हैं जेंडर एंड देन दे किल. सो दीज थिंग्स कहां से पता चलता है कि डेटा ऐसा हो गया? सो वी गेट टू नो फ्रॉम द सेंसस एंड अकॉर्डिंगली द स्कीम्स आर एक्चुअली इंप्लीमेंटेड. अभी नहीं आएंगे कृषि सचदेवा, आई थिंक 26-27 में होगा ना, तो उस टाइम पर आएंगे. Census government teachers come to your house to check actually and calculate and enumerate the census. ठीक है. Ask your parents. और भी शायद हर घर में शायद, I'm not sure कि जाते भी हैं कि नहीं. I'm not sure about that. Ask your parents and uncles, they'll tell you. हाँ जाते हैं, कई जगह जाते भी हैं. Yes, it is true. They do go. चलें, they are government teachers who go for the census. है ना? That is what you should be knowing about. Okay, so this is the idea behind census. मेरे घर पर आए हैं. Okay, great. So yes, so basically the census actually is about to gather demographic, social, economic data such as population size, age, sex, occupation, literacy, housing, and it is generally conducted after 10 years. It is helpful in making policy. The government comes up with a new scheme according to the census data. जो census के data है उसी हिसाब से वो scheme लाते हैं, है ना, कि कहां पर कमी है, कहां पर ज्यादा है, etc. like that, है ना. Basis for allocation determines political representation. For example, reservations in assemblies, legislative assemblies, parliament, everything. Okay, so these are the things related with census. Now the next question is, which of the following ministry conducts census? Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, इसको MOSP लिखते हैं. Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Yes, very good. People are answering. I'm very happy. Yes, Ministry of Home Affairs, B is the right answer. ठीक है. So what is the उस office को क्या कहते हैं? What is the name of that office which conducts the census? MOSP minister कौन है? Let me check. Rao Inderjeet Singh, I think. Mr. Rao Inderjeet Singh लिखा. Minister of State Independent Charge. Yes. MOSP minister is, there is no cabinet minister, so MOS independent charge is Rao Inderjeet Singh. Someone was asking. Yes, the right answer is Office of Registrar General and Census Commissioner, Ministry of Home Affairs. This is actually the body that conducts census. ठीक है ना, Census of India 2027 में होगा next one. That is what you should be knowing about. है ना? Now, so who is the Registrar General and Census Commissioner of India currently? So his name is Mrityunjay Kumar Narayanan. His tenure has been extended till 2026. ठीक है ना? So 2027 में ना, 1st March 2027 is the reference date for the next census, and this will be the first digital population survey. ठीक है. And after that there will be delimitation of Lok Sabha constituency. We will discuss this also. ठीक है कि delimitation of Lok Sabha constituencies क्या होता है. Now let's move on to the next one. The first non-synchronous census was done in India in which year? अभी रेफरेंस डेट रहने दो. ठीक है, रेफरेंस डेट से कैलकुलेट किया जाता है कि कौन से डेट को वो डेट माना जाएगा. ठीक है. So the right answer is first non-synchronous census is D, 1872. So who was the Governor General, British Governor General at that time, or I would say Governor General of India? What if people don't participate? ये तो बहुत difficult question है. मतलब जनरली आते हैं लोग, कभी कभी some people do not give their data. ऐसा भी होता है. हाँ, Lord Mayo, D is the right answer. ठीक है. And the first synchronous census was done in the year. And who was the Governor General at that time? These are important facts. Yes, 1881. And who was the Governor General? British Governor General? Lord Nixon. अरे Loden. नहीं, गवर्नर जनरल का नाम बताना है. लॉर्ड रिपन. ठीक है, लॉर्ड रिपन वाज गवर्नर जनरल एट दैट टाइम. ठीक है, खैर. सो जस्ट हैव एन आइडिया. नॉन सिंक्रोनस सेंसस मतलब होता है कि इट वाज नॉट कंडक्टेड इन द एंटायर कंट्री. लाइक होता है कि जनरली क्या होता है कि देयर इज अ पैरामीटर दैट इज गिवन फॉर द एंटायर कंट्री एंड इट इज डन एट वन टाइम इन द एंटायर कंट्री. बट ये जो था ना, कुछ एरिया में सम फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट था. So it was done in some regions, and in different regions there were different parameters that were used. ठीक है, तो इसीलिए नॉन यूनिफॉर्म था, इसीलिए इसको नॉन सिंक्रोनस सेंसस कहते हैं. मींस किसी और जगह, लेट्स से बिहार में सेंसस हुआ तो उसमें डेटा मतलब जो कैलकुलेशन का मेथड वो अलग था. हाँ, तमिलनाडु में हुआ तो अलग स्टाइल से हुआ, इसीलिए नॉन सिंक्रोनस कह दिया गया है ना. मेनी एरियाज वर मिस्ड. नाउ सिंक्रोनस मींस यू आर टेकिंग वन स्टैंडर्ड फॉर द एंटायर कंट्री and doing it in one shot. That is what you should know. First complete and reliable census was done, conducted under Lord Ripon, and I'm sure you must be aware. So this included age, sex, literacy, etc. ठीक है. Census Commissioner होंगे, हाँ, WC Plowden. But let me check since you are writing. Plowden. यस, सेंसस कमिश्नर फॉर 1881 में लिख देते हैं. सो द सेंसस कमिश्नर वाज W.C. प्लाउडेन, जो आप लोग आंसर में लिख रहे थे. बट द गवर्नर जनरल वाज लॉर्ड रिपन. ठीक है, दैट्स व्हाट यू शुड नो. Now let's move on to the next question, and I believe that you all should be knowing it. Is generally done. So I've written generally because there have been some incident. There's one incident where there is an exception, one or two incident. है ना? The right answer is option B. 10 years पे होता है, but अभी अगर आप देखोगे last we have seen is 2011. So ideally it should have happened in 2021, but this will be happening in 2027. तो हो सकता है 2021 के बाद नेक्स्ट वन वाज सपोज्ड टू हैपन इन 2031, तो शायद 2031 में भी नहीं हो, बिकॉज 4 साल के अंदर क्या होगा दोबारा, है ना. सो आई थिंक दैट इज व्हाट यू शुड नो. सो बी इज द राइट आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन. नाउ लेट्स टॉक अबाउट सम हिस्ट्री ऑफ सेंसस इन इंडिया. सो आई एम श्योर यू मस्ट बी अवेयर that it is written in even the Rig Veda talks about it. So Arthashastra written by Kautilya talks about it. Even during Akbar, Ane Akbari, who wrote Ane Akbari? Can anyone tell me? Ane Akbari was written by whom? Anyone? Abul Fazl. वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन. अबुल फजल ने लिखा था. ठीक है, सही आपको पता होना चाहिए. गुड. हाँ, तो ऋग वेदा में, सो ओल्डेस्ट वेदा इज दिस, ये सब पता होना चाहिए. द ओल्डेस्ट वेदा, दीज आर आस्क्ड इन द एग्जाम. ऋग्वेद, सामवेद, यजुर्वेद, अथर्ववेद. सो द ओल्डेस्ट वन इज ऋग वेदा. कौटिल्या's अर्थशास्त्र टॉक्स अबाउट इट. अच्छा, कौटिल्य वाज द एडवाइजर ऑफ व्हिच किंग? कौटिल्य वाज द एडवाइजर ऑफ व्हिच किंग? कौन से राजा के दरबार में? चाणक्य भी इनका नाम है. विष्णुगुप्त, चाणक्य. चाणक्य तो नाम सुना होगा. विष्णुगुप्त also sometimes called. He wrote a very famous book on statecraft administration, अर्थशास्त्र. Yes, चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य के जमाने में. So this is a Mauryan empire, है ना. इनका कैपिटल था पाटलिपुत्र, which is today called as Patna. ठीक है. एंड इनके जो एडवाइजर थे चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य के, was the first king. So his advisor was actually also wrote Chanakya Niti वही. हाँ. So यहाँ पे तक्षशिला यूनिवर्सिटी थी, which you will find it in modern day Pakistan, Peshawar region. So he was actually the teacher there. कौन? वही चाणक्य. चाणक्य और कौटिल्य. And he was the advisor of चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य. ठीक है. Okay. So that is what you should know, famously called as Chanakya or Kautilya. So he wrote a book, अर्थशास्त्र. ठीक है. इनकी और भी बुक है, मंडला थ्योरी एंड बहुत सारी चीजें, है ना. चाणक्य नीति, है ना. The date Kautilya died, the decline foreign power started. I'm not sure about that. Because Chandragupta Maurya का जो पोता थे was Ashoka. He was very powerful king. ठीक है. So grandson, Chandragupta Maurya's grandson was Ashoka. Fair. So even during those times also, is in past maybe we have seen some sort of census type thing. Even in ancient Rome we have seen. So the Roman Empire हुआ करता था in Italy. There are evidence of census, है ना. So let's talk about the next question. Which of the following is called as Great Dividing Year? Explain the reason as well. We taught Ashoka for 21 years. Chanakya. The right answer, what is the right answer? 1921. Why? Reason ही बताइए. Population decline. Yes. Look, actually क्या है? When you see the previous census data, अगर मान लो ऐसे 1881 से I'm making 1881, then 1891, 1901, 1911, 1921, 1931, like this, है ना. तो actually what happened was ऐसे population graph. ठीक है. So 1921 में 1921 के सामने पॉपुलेशन डिप हुआ, मतलब 1911 के कंपैरिजन में. एज कंपेयर टू 1911 वी हैव सीन पॉपुलेशन डिप इन 1921. it went like this. Why? Negative population growth, right? The increasing steadily after, because second phase of population started. Year ended in a pandemic. Yes, Riddhibist, actually, between this, we have seen Spanish flu, which came to India and it was called as Bombay flu. So last time, like 2019, where we have seen COVID-19, मतलब 2019 and 2020 में, है ना? And almost 100 years back in 1919, also we have seen Spanish flu. ओके 2019 में जिस तरह कोविड आया था, दिसंबर 2019 से शुरू हो गया था, उसी तरह से 1919 में स्पेनिश फ्लू आल्सो वी हैव सीन. ओके, दैट इज व्हाट यू शुड बी नोइंग. तो आप देख सकते हैं, बिकॉज ऑफ व्हिच इट किल्ड सो मेनी पीपल. देखो 0.32% माइनस में चला गया ग्रोथ. So that's why 1921 is year of great divide. This you should be knowing about. Okay. 1918 पे कहीं पे लिखते हैं. So 1918 you can say Spanish flu happened. Sharp rise in the death rate, and that is why the numbers of the population number declined heavily. Okay. That is what you should be knowing. Okay, and it marked by these things. And the flu आता उसमें बहुत से लोगों की death हो गई थी. और उस टाइम पर ऐसे भी उतने there was not the medicines and the vaccines were not much advanced. And that's why 1921 is demographic divide. Even if the medicines were advanced, we have seen in 2021 so many deaths. Did the British India married to Spanish flu? No, I don't think so. I think ship के through ही Spanish flu जो है इंडिया में भी आ गया था, बॉम्बे में, because through ship. So बॉम्बे में उसको बॉम्बे फ्लू कहा जाने लगा था. And I think there was no immunity. How can they be immune? Do you think they cared? No, they were not. They did not care much about Indians. No. What is the meaning of caste census? अब हम लोग caste census की बात करें. Census की बात होगी. What is the meaning of caste census? ये क्या मतलब हुआ? Yes, caste enumeration is also done. For example, when the entire census is done, a teacher will come. They'll ask you, "Kya you belong to which religion? You how many males are there, females are there, they are educated or not?" फिर कभी ये सभी पूछते हैं शायद ना कि घर में फ्रिज है कि नहीं, गाड़ी है कि नहीं. I think, I'm not sure, but they will ask caste also, which was not there earlier, है ना? कि caste पूछेंगे आप कौन से caste से belong करते हो, etc. and they will write it. ठीक है. So अब ये सही है कि गलत है? There were a lot of debates that happened. So basically this was actually started by the opposition, Mr. Rahul Gandhi and Mr. Tejasvi Yadav and others. Actually they started talking कि we need caste census. So initially it was opposed by the ruling government or the BJP, but later on actually they agreed for the caste census. Okay, so the ruling government has said that okay, we will do kind of caste census. So LJP RV, he's actually Mr. Chirag Paswan, he's an alliance with BJP, na? Said a caste survey was a key to demand of his party, and that has been accepted now. So this year the government has actually accepted the caste census, and they'll say that we'll be doing caste census. And Rahul Gandhi says remove 50% quota cap. Now what is this? Can anyone tell me what is this? And who inserted this provision? Anyone? LJP is there in Bihar. Lok Janshakti Party. ये पूछो ना. Lok Janshakti Party. Ram Vilas Paswan. So Chirag Paswan's father was Mr. Ram Vilas Paswan. He was also a union minister in multiple cabinets. LJP is the party from Bihar, right? Indira Sani case, very good, Kushagra. Good. So basically, Mr. Rahul Gandhi has said we will abolish this 50% cap, and even more than 50% seats should be reserved. Currently, how many seats are reserved in general at the central level? Indira Sani case, very good. Currently, how many seats are reserved? There was a very famous judgment when Mandal Commission was implemented, and this was challenged with the Supreme Court. That's why it is famously called as Mandal case. The Supreme Court upheld the 27% reservation for OBCs, but the Supreme Court said there are some provision like creamy layer. Then top 50% means the reservation should not cross more than 50%, and except in few justified cases like that. Like, so you have to justify it. currently what how much reservation is there in total बताना है कितना seats reserved है सेंटर लेवल पर. 59%. So it has already crossed 50%. ठीक है, ये वाला बहुत फेमस जजमेंट है इंदिरा सानी केस, यू कैन रीड इट एंड आई विल टेल यू हाउ. ये है शेड्यूल कास्ट 15%, शेड्यूल ट्राइब 7.5%, OBC 27%. Now this was added by which amendment? 103rd था ना वो, और 102nd था. 103rd. Yes, 103rd था. By 103rd amendment. It was challenged in the Supreme Court and Supreme Court upheld it 3-2. So it was challenged by giving the ground that we have crossed 50%, but still the Supreme Court allowed it. So currently we are having 59.5% exactly, है ना? So total जोड़ोगे, so it will come 59.5%. So currently we have already crossed the 50% mark. Now Mr. Rahul Gandhi is saying that now I want to cross much more, like it should be allowed. They are saying that maybe if you do the caste census, the lower caste population will be much higher. That is what the argument given by the leader of opposition. And they said that from that logic, more seats should be reserved for the lower caste. That is what they said. इतना ज़्यादा क्यों है? I don't know. Please don't ask me this question because it is very like debatable topic. One negative aspect is that those who are in general category, sometimes they suffer also. So these are the things that is what you should be knowing about. So state level 50% cap, even in Tamil Nadu there is 69% reservation. Okay, we have seen even in Ladakh also recently the government has decided to give 85% to scheduled tribe, something like that, है ना? Okay, so that is what you should be knowing. Concept of creamy layer was brought by the Supreme Court for OBCs. ये आपको शायद पता होगा ये सब चीज़, है ना? Okay, let's move on to the next one. When was the last caste census done? Whose data is with us? आखिरी कास्ट सेंसस कब हुआ था? लास्ट कास्ट सेंसस whose data is with us, ये भी लिखा है देखो पूरा. Some people are saying 2011. What is creamy layer? For example, if you're an OBC and your father earns more than 8 lakh per annum per year, or your parents together, even if you're an OBC, you will lie under creamy layer and you will not get the reservation. This is called as creamy layer concept. Post Bihar, I'm not talking about state level. So like for example, today I'll be discussing about delimitation commission. Today I'll be discussing about caste census. All will be all India level questions. ये जितने भी बात हो रही है इंडिया लेवल पर बात हो रही है, स्टेट लेवल पर आप अभी इसको रहने दीजिए, ठीक है ना? So we all are up. Yes, the last one is in 1931. ठीक है? So basically 2011 में also we have done it, but actually the thing was, and it's called as social economic caste census, but only scheduled caste and scheduled tribe का number पता है. देखो scheduled caste 16.6%, scheduled tribe 8.6%. That's it. But they have not published the full caste wise data, नहीं publish हुआ है. Caste wise data समझ गया ना कि how many Brahmins are there, how many Rajputs are there, how many Yadavs are there, वो सब नहीं publish हुआ है. That is not published. Okay. Social economic caste census 2011 by Ministry of Rural Development, है ना? एक और हुआ था economic caste census, इसमें कुछ और नहीं खास है. So basically OBC and other caste का data नहीं publish होता. SC ST में भी caste wise नहीं था, बस इतना बताता है कि scheduled caste में there are 16.6% population, scheduled tribe 8.6%. That's it only. है ना? इससे ज्यादा नहीं हुआ था. So that's why technically the last caste census that happened in India is 1931. ठीक है, इसी को माना जाता है जनरली, हर जगह न्यूज़पेपर्स में ये टर्म लिखा होता है. Okay, now let's talk about something about 2011 census, although it is slightly old, but you should know it. 1.21 billion या 121 करोड़, है ना? ठीक है. The next is male population, इतना ये सब नहीं याद रखना है. ये याद सकते हो, decadal growth means as compared to 2001 the population growth in 2011 was 17.7%. ठीक है. Then gender ratio or sex ratio was 943 females out of, like, if there had 1000 males, 943 females are there. Child sex ratio 919. Okay, it decreased कर गया था as compared to 2001, and that is why government decided to come up with which scheme? बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ. सेंसस से तो पता चलता है. With the help of the census, we get to know that how should we make the I would say a new scheme, right? That's the idea. Literacy rate 74%, and male literacy was more 82% and female 65.64. 65.46. Urban population was 31.2 और exactly 31.16 था, but अगर आप 31 भी याद रख लो तो चल जाएगा काम. ये 31 है, रूरल पॉपुलेशन 69 है. ठीक है, so इससे भी काम चल जाएगा. That's it. है ना. Population density was 382% per kilometer square. Most populous state 20 करोड़ याद रख सकते हो यूपी का उस टाइम पर. We are talking about 2011. Now it must have increased to 22 करोड़ और 23 करोड़. ठीक है. Least populous is सिक्किम, सबसे कम आबादी जो. So these are basic facts you should be knowing about. एक rough idea होना चाहिए, है ना. Religion wise data, again religion wise data was given. Caste based data was not given in 2011. Religion based data you should know. Hindus are around 79.8%, Muslims 14.2%, Christians 2.3%, Sikh 1.7%, Buddhist 0.7%, Jain 0.4%, and the rest you can see. ठीक है, बस एक rough idea होना चाहिए. Roughly that is what you should be knowing. Okay, है ना. तो ये हो गया. Now let's talk about delimitation. अब होता क्या है when you read articles, देखो these articles were coming in. So when you read articles like article 82, यहाँ दिखा दो article 81, article 82, these things talks about it, है ना. In the House of the People or Lok Sabha, in the manner as the ratio between the number and the population of the state is same for all state. मतलब क्या है? And we have to ensure that allocation of seats should be done in such a way that the number and the population, है ना, the ratio between the number and the population of seats, मतलब seats in Lok Sabha divided by population, this number should remain constant throughout all the states. Okay, and that is why ideally, according to Article 82, after each census, delimitation commission should be set up. And it should actually, I'm using the word ideally, change the boundaries or change the allocation of the constituencies also. For example, that's the best example, and that's why it is sometimes. So first you should know what is a delimitation commission. So delimitation commission is headed by a former Supreme Court judge as a chairperson, then the chief election commissioner and the state election commissioner of that state. Okay, these three are the members. Please be aware, according to the Supreme Court, this according to the Constitution, it cannot be challenged in the court. ये बात पता होनी चाहिए. This is very, very, very important. The decision taken by the Delimitation Commission of India cannot be challenged in the court. Okay, even it appears to be an extreme statement, but that is true. ठीक है, याद रखिएगा. Now, why seats to population ratio is constant? So that it will actually reflect the proper properly people should be represented, है ना. तो जैसे for example, अच्छा पहले अब है ना, delimitation means redrawing the boundaries of the Lok Sabha and the state legislative constituency. For example, मान लो ये एरिया है, ठीक है. So here there is 100 population, here there is 100 population, here there is 100 population, and here there is 100 population. So this will be given 1 MP seat, this will be given 1 MP seat, this will be given 1 MP seat, this will be given 1 MP seat. Okay? पता है आप लोग कमेंट में क्या लिख रहे हो? Please let me focus on this class. ठीक है? अभी आप क्वेश्चन मत पूछो. Now what happened? Let's say after 10 years, now this has changed. तो इस जगह पर 150 people came, यहाँ पर 95 हो गया, यहाँ पर actually 75 हो गया, and यहाँ पर actually 120 हो गया. Now we have to change again the boundaries in such a way so that the seat divided by population ratio should remain the same. इसको 150 है तो इसको थोड़ा सा छोटा कर देंगे, इसको थोड़ा सा बड़ा कर देंगे, and like that. That is one thing. The second thing is even state-wise, that's called as delimitation, changing the boundaries of the constituency. इसको कहते हैं delimitation. Another is changing the seats allocation in states. For states. This also we will discuss. ये important है, मैं बताता हूँ कैसे. Look, Article 82 talks for delimitation for parliament level and 170 for state level. ठीक है. Delimitation commission is set up by the President of India, है ना? And these are the members. the serving or a former Supreme Court judge, Chief Election Commissioner, and the State Election Commissioner. Now, please tell me how many delimitations have been done so far. Ideally, it should happen after every census. Ideally, है ना, हर census के बाद change किया जाएगा. But actually, that is not the case. Nanny, you should check the previous year's cutoff of scheduled tribe. Just ask the chat GPT what was the scheduled tribe category cutoff for CLAT 2025 for top 5 MNLUs. ऐसे search करना आपको मिल जाएगा. So the right answer is option 4. B is the right answer. ठीक है, तो आप देख सकते हो 1952, 63. So 1952 after 1951 census, है ना. 1963 after 61 census, 1973 after 71 census. अब देखो इसके बाद गैप हो गया. Why gap? Are you able to see the gap? So total till now we have seen only 4 census. ये बार तभी हुआ नहीं ना. So why there was a gap? Because in 1971, during the time of Indira Gandhi ji, she froze the census, froze it. Why? है ना, 1971 क्यों froze कर दिया था? Family planning, right? हाँ. Actually, it was acting as a disincentive against family planning. So basically, मान लो, देखो मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ. UP has actually 80 seats. And let's say Tamil Nadu has how many seats? 39. For Lok Sabha. Okay. Now, Tamil Nadu is implementing population control measure more effectively. So from this logic, their population will decrease. And according to Article 81, 82, they should get decreased Lok Sabha seats. Yes. And Uttar Pradesh comparatively is increasing, population is increasing, so that should get increased Lok Sabha seats. For example, अगर आप ये देखोगे, if in 2026 roughly they have calculated कि if this is implemented in future, so 80 से इनकी सीट बढ़ जाएगी, 91 हो जाएगी, and Tamil Nadu seat will decrease. So they have given an idea. अब इतना numbers नहीं याद रखना, but you should have an idea, get an idea. So it means they are controlling the population, especially the South Indian states. देखो आप देखो ये सब सारे South Indian states हैं. Mostly. So the South Indian states, they are controlling population effectively and they are being punished for that. That's why in 1971, Indira Gandhi ji decided to freeze it. कि कम से कम at least the seats allocated to the states will be freezed. कि ये आपको जैसे मान लो 31 है, ये जो 39 अभी चला रहा है, ये 1971 से चला रहा है. This 80 is since 1971. जैसे बिहार को 40 मिलते आ रहा है लोकसभा में 1971 से. Otherwise, if it would not have been freeze, then Bihar would have got 50 or 60 seats के आसपास, and Tamil Nadu would have got reduced, Andhra Pradesh would have got reduced seats. Okay, Harsh, we are coming to that. So idea ये है कि तो ये इसलिए freeze कर दिया गया. Okay, then Atal Bihari Vajpayee जी के टाइम पे 2002 में again no changes in Lok Sabha seats. They again amended the constitution, है ना, and extended the freeze till 2026. Okay, so इन लोगों ने क्या कहा? 84th amendment said delimitation is to be done after 2026 based on the first census conducted after 2026. स्टेटमेंट क्या लिखा था कि 2026 के बाद जो भी पहला सेंसस होगा उसमें डिलिमिटेशन इंप्लीमेंट होगा. सो आइडियली इट शुड हैव बीन 2031, बट नाउ इट माइट बी इवन 2027 because 2011 के बाद 2021 and then 2031. So ideally this would have meant 2031 after 2031. Yes, कि 2026 के बाद जो पहला सेंसस होगा उसके बाद डिलिमिटेशन होगा. This was the statement by 84th amendment. But now the 2021 census itself is happening in 2027. So from this logic, after this 2027, this delimitation can be implemented. The fifth one. Is it clear? ये बात समझ में आई कि नहीं? So at the fourth amendment, during the time of 2002, during the time of Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, they extended the freeze. जो ये 30 साल के लिए freeze किया गया था, that was extended till 2026. The statement was that it is freezed till the first census that will be done after 2026. Okay, is it clear? ये बात समझ में आई कि नहीं? कृषि संस्था दे बोथ द एस्पेक्ट्स, डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड पॉजिटिव भी होता है बहुत सारी चीज में ऑफ कोर्स, but at that time perhaps she realized that there are lot of negative associated with that. तो दोनों चीज है, the population increase has a positive as well as negative both. ठीक है, तो ये कॉन्सेप्ट समझ में आ गया. So currently we have 4 delimitations have been done. The next one will come after 2026 census, means 2027 will be having census, so maybe 2028 may a delimitation commission will be set up and they will recommend. Now what is problematic? क्या नहीं समझ में आया? देखो ये एकदम सिंपल है. 84th अमेंडमेंट में कहा गया कि जो 30 साल से फ्रीज किया गया ना, लगभग 30 साल, इसको और 2026 तक फ्रीज कर दिया जाए. यानी अगर यूपी को 80 सीट्स मिलती तो 80 मिलेगा, बिहार को 40 मिलती 40 मिलेगा. 2026 के बाद जो भी पहला सेंसस आएगा उस वक्त तक फ्रीज कर दिया जाए. ठीक है. तो आइडियली क्या होता, 2011 में सेंसस आया, 2021 में होता, तो 2031 में होता, तो ये 2031 के बाद इंप्लीमेंट होता. लेकिन 2021 ही वाला इतना डिलेड है कि ये 2027 में हो रहा है. इंस्टेड ऑफ 2031, 2027 के बाद ही वाला ये इंप्लीमेंट हो जाएगा. ओके, यू गॉट इट? इज इट क्लियर? हाँ ठीक है. तो उन्होंने इस हिसाब से किया था कि 2001 तक 2001 या 2 तक फ्रीज होगा, फिर यहां से लोगों ने 2026 तक कह दिया. ठीक है. फाइन. So that is what you should be knowing about. बाकी आप allocation of seats देख सकते हो different states का, है ना. So the main problem, तो अब जो है नया delimitation की जब बात हो रही है, so who are the states who are worried? South Indian states. That's why this is Mr. M.K. Stalin. He is the chief minister of Tamil Nadu. So the southern Indian states will start protesting more. Why? Because they believe that they will be punished for controlling the population. Because उनको जो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की प्लानिंग थी सिंस इंदिरा गांधी जी टाइम, दैट वी शुड कंट्रोल द पॉपुलेशन, आवर पॉपुलेशन इज वेरी हाई, एंड दैट इज व्हाई दे द साउथ इंडियन स्टेट्स कंट्रोल द पॉपुलेशन मोर इफेक्टिवली. सो दे से कि सिंस आई हैव बीन टोल्ड टू कंट्रोल इट एंड आई हैव डन इट प्रॉपर्ली, सो दैट्स व्हाई वी आर बीइंग पनिश्ड. तो वो उनका कहने का मतलब है. ओके, है ना. आई हैव टोल्ड यू इट कैन नॉट बी चैलेंज, द डेलिमिटेशन कमीशंस डिसीजन कैन नॉट बी चैलेंज इन द कोर्ट. वी हैव सीन 4 डेलिमिटेशंस. यस, हाँ ठीक है. डेलिमिटेशन एक्ट के अंदर बनाया जाता है ना. वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट ऑल इंडिया लेवल डेलिमिटेशन. वी आर नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट स्टेट लेवल. कुछ कुछ स्टेट्स में कुछ कुछ हुआ था, उसके बारे में नहीं बात कर रहे अभी. ठीक है, बिकॉज अदरवाइज विल गेट कंफ्यूज्ड. है ना. 1952 में हुआ था, देन है ना 1963 में हुआ था, 1973 में हुआ था, लाइक दैट 2002 में हुआ था. नेक्स्ट डेलिमिटेशन के बारे में बता दिया, आई टोल्ड यू. Now there is one more thing I want to highlight. जब ये आया था 106th amendment, you remember that? नारी शक्ति वंदना अधिनियम. It said, it talked about giving 33% seats to women in Lok Sabha, State Legislative Assembly and Delhi Legislative Assembly. But still they have said we are not going to implement right now, we will implement after this. Again वही पुरानी वाली बात कि after 2026 the census will be done and after that the delimitation will be done and after that this will be implemented. यही वाली बात. इज इट क्लियर? ये बात समझ में आई कि नहीं? जो कहां बोल रहे थे हम, हाँ, कि 2026 के बाद पहला वाला जो भी सेंसस होगा, उसके बाद डिलिमिटेशन कमीशन बैठेगी, देन आफ्टर दैट 33% रिजर्वेशन विल बी गिवन टू वुमेन इन लोकसभा, लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली ऑफ स्टेट्स एंड लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली ऑफ दिल्ली. दैट वाज रिटन इन 106th अमेंडमेंट. तो ये बात तो हो गई, लेकिन अभी ये रिजर्वेशन ये वाली चीज इंप्लीमेंट नहीं होगी जस्ट नाउ. And I'm sure you must be aware of that. Sir, so this comment can corrupt? नहीं, corrupt हो जाएगा ऐसा तो मुश्किल है बिलीव करना. लाइक बिकॉज यू आर सेइंग कि डेलिमिटेशन कमीशन में एक्स सुप्रीम कोर्ट जज होते हैं या करंट सुप्रीम कोर्ट जज, चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर एंड स्टेट इलेक्शन कमिश्नर होते हैं. तो अनवारंटेड पावर के अंदर हो भी सकता है. आई मीन इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू से कि करप्ट हो सकते हैं कि नहीं. लाइक आप कैन वर्ड यूज करोगे, सो एनीथिंग कैन हैपन. But the idea is that delimitation commission decision cannot be challenged in the court generally by default. Next class tomorrow I'll take class on the protest in Ladakh and Sonam Wangchuk arrest. So we'll discuss 6th schedule again. उसको discuss करा देंगे. People were demanding and I realized कि हाँ थोड़ा सा important है. It was last year there was question that was asked on Ladakh. So चलो, we are stopping this class. Please subscribe to the channel, press the like button, share this video. Thank you everyone. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.